This is Radio Nepal. I'm Kaushal Ghimire with the news, the headlines first. Ruling coalition agreed to hold dialogue with parties in parliament to remove the deadlock. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal stresses taking concrete steps for stringent security at the Tribhuvan International Airport. And their toll in rain-induced disasters in India's Himachal Pradesh rises to 71. Now the news in detail. The ruling coalition partners have discussed the issue of removing parliament obstruction caused by the main opposition party CPN-UML. The meeting, convened by Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Prachanda yesterday, took a decision to expedite dialogues with the parties representing the parliament, including the main opposition party, to remove the parliament deadlock. According to the Secretariat of Prime Minister, top leaders of the ruling parties, including Nepali Congress President Sherbadu Dewa and CPN Unified Socialist Chair Madhav Kumar Nepal, were present in the meeting held at Balwatar. Meanwhile, main opposition party CPN-UML chairperson KP Sharma Oli called on President Ramchandra Paudel at the office of the President in Sheetal Niwas yesterday. According to the President's press advisor Kiran Pokhrel, during the meeting, the UML chair and the President exchanged views on the contemporary domestic political affairs and the ongoing deadlock in the parliament. On the occasion, President Paudel was concerned about the potential consequences of prolonged House deadlock and urged the major opposition party leader to work towards resolving the situation. The President also advised political parties to promote mutual cooperation and cooperation in the Parliament and to build an atmosphere of trust. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda has pledged to create necessary structures to implement the Social Security Scheme. While addressing the inauguration of the Social Security Plan for workers and self-employed people in the informal sector organized by the Social Security Fund, Prime Minister Dahal said the Social Security Scheme was an important mechanism of the state for the neglected, suppressed and oppressed people of the society. He further said the Social Security was a mandatory condition for the establishment of socialism-oriented political and economic system as envisaged by the Constitution of Nepal. He also vowed to mobilize regulatory agency to oversee implementation of the Contribution-Based Social Security Act, keeping in view that no citizens were deprived of benefits of the Social Security Act. Similarly, Minister for Labour, Employment and Social Security, Sarat Singh Bhandari, articulated readiness of the government to revise and implement various plans unveiled by the Social Security Fund. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda has stressed the need for taking concrete steps for stringent security at the Tribhuvan International Airport. Addressing a discussion on airport security management and government's move at the office of the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers yesterday, the Prime Minister said a task force would be formed for the study about the airport security and move as per its report. The meeting was attended by ministers, national security advisers, chief secretary, chiefs of security agencies, governor of Nepal Rashtra Bank, ministry secretaries, department chiefs, among others. The Office of the Auditor General yesterday briefed Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda about its preparation for audit of the last fiscal year. During a meeting held at the office of the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers at Singh Durbar, Acting Auditor General Maheshwar Kafle briefed the Prime Minister about the state of affairs of the office and future plan and schedule. He shared that Office of the Auditor General would conduct the audit of all government offices across the country based on the three-phase schedule. Minister for Communications and Information Technology, Rekha Sharma, has said the government is focused on ensuring good governance. Speaking at a press meet organized by the Press Center Dang. In Dang yesterday, Minister Sharma called for cooperation from all quarters in the government's battle against corruption. Meanwhile, during her visit to Lamai-based Biological Diversity Park, the Communication Minister advised the local governments to focus on enhancing their internal sources of income. You're listening to Radio Nepal's 8 a.m. English News Bulletin. Time for a short break now.
भाउजू दर्शन
भाग्यमानी बाबु राम्ररी आइपुग्नु भयो नि
हजुर राम्ररी पुगे उ चाहिँ मेरो कलेजको बेस्ट फ्रेन्ड
नमस्ते भाउजू
नमस्ते आउनु न भित्रै
हुन्छ भाउजू
अनि दादा त अफिस गइसक्नु भयो होला है
उहाँ त बिहानै हो हुन्छ तपाईहरु फ्रेस हुँदै गर्नु न म खाना तयार गर्दै गर्छु है
हस् हस् भाउजू
ओइ वाइफाई होला नि पासवर्ड माग्न
हे त पनि एनटीसी को सस्तो डे प्याक छदैछ नि
ए हो र
एनटीसी को डे प्याक लिन *1415# डायल गर्न
नेपाल टेलिकम राष्ट्रको संचार.
You're listening to Radio Nepal's 8 a.m. English News Bulletin. Now on to more news. The Ministry of Health and Population has prepared to launch the vaccination campaign against measles and rubella in the entire 77 districts across the country within the current fiscal year. The campaign aims to meet the government target of eliminating measles from the country by the year 2026. In view of the ongoing preparations for the nationwide campaign against measles, the Child Health and Immunization section under the Department of Health Services has already written to Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, asking for logistic management to undertake the campaign. According to the section chief, Dr. Abhiyan Gautam, it has demanded 9.7 million doses of the vaccine. You're listening to Radio Nepal's 8 a.m. English News Bulletin. On to an international update now. Heavy rains leading to landslides and floods have wreaked havoc in India's northern state of Himachal Pradesh, while the death toll has reached 71. In the past 2 days, 12 bodies have been recovered in the ongoing search and rescue operations after a massive landslide that ravaged the Summerhill area of Shimla, while 9 people were still missing. The heavy rain also caused a dam in Kangada district to overflow, raising concerns of flood in the low-lying areas. Now the general weather forecast for the country for today. According to the Meteorological Forecasting Division, the weather will be partly to generally cloudy throughout the country. Light to moderate rain with thunder and lightning is likely to occur at some places of Kosi Province, Madhya Province, Bagmati Province and Gandaki Province, and at a few places of the rest of the country. There were also chances of heavy rain with thunder and lightning at 1 or 2 places of Kosi Province and Gandaki Province. With this, we have almost come to the end of this news bulletin. But before wrapping up, let's have a reminder of the headlines once again. Ruling coalition agreed to hold dialogue with parties in parliament to remove the deadlock. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Bahal Prachanda stresses taking concrete steps for stringent security at the Tribhuvan International Airport. And death toll in rain-induced disaster in India's Himachal Pradesh rises to 71. Well, that's all the news we have for this bulletin. Our next bulletin in English will be at 2 in the afternoon. You can also listen to us online at our website, www.onlineradionepal.gov.np. Keep listening to Radio Nepal and have a good day.